about the Premier League action, and as we speak, it's kickoff at Stamford Bridge. Before we go into
the Molyneux.
Well, the Molyneux, pardon me, so used to the Stamford Bridge. Well, it's Wolverhampton Wanderers who are at home and Chelsea are the away side. We'll give you team news shortly, but it's very important to let you know that Chelsea are wearing their away strip. It's white and it's total from the top to the bottom. The Chelsea side, and the Wolverhampton Wanderers are in their traditional home attire. I don't know if we can call this orange or something like bulb lights, if you know what I mean. I don't know, but yeah, that's Wolverhampton Wanderers who are looking to return to winning ways after losing against Everton just before the international break. It's also important to let you know that we're live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, so you can watch us live while we run commentaries on the game as we speak. Yes, well done to our broadcast partners, the BBC, as well. Well, let's go to the starting lineups. Do you have the Chelsea lineups, Samuel?
Yes, indeed, and it's a very, very interesting one for both teams. Starting off with the Wolverhampton side, the home team, they have Rui Patricio in goal, a back five this time around of Adama Traore, Jesus Vallejo, Conor Cody, Leander Dendonka, and Johnny Otto. The midfield three of João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, and of course the Moroccan Roman Saiz. And up front, they've got the duo of Raul Jimenez and of course Diogo Jota. For Chelsea, it's a changed formation for Frank Lampard. He's gone 3-4-3 as against the normal formation. He goes 4-3-3. It's Kepa Arrizabalaga who stays in goal for Chelsea. Fikayo Tomori continues in the Chelsea defense alongside Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger, who returns for the first time this season for Chelsea. It's a four-man midfield for Chelsea. Marcos Alonso gets his first start for Chelsea this season and is joined alongside Mateo Kovacic, Jorginho, and Cesar Azpilicueta, who gets a different role this time around in midfield. And up front is the trio of Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, and Willian.
Well, that's Chelsea looking to get the first goal in this game. Also on as we speak, it's Goal Rush, and as the goals are scored in different centres in England, we won't hesitate to let you know. Kelele, it started, and Wolverhampton looked to have settled very early.
Well, that's one thing they know how to do at the Molyneux. Don't forget, they recently talked about 130 years playing on that ground. A very proud ground for them as well, the Midlands team. And a very decent side under Nuno Espirito Santo. Very attacking, very disciplined in defense. And what you might say, you might have heard Samuel say there that they actually have a five-man defense. Well, it's as a result of Boli getting a red card in their last Premier League game before the international break. That's why they need extra reinforcement in that back line. Save also the fact that Chelsea like to attack a lot. The likes of Mason Mount are always looking to go forward. The likes of that man Tammy Abraham is a handful for any defense. So just like you said, they settled in, and I think we might be getting those goals early enough.
It's Chelsea who have the possession now, courtesy Mateo Kovacic. Willian, who is back to the starting 11, can go forward, spreads the ball down to the right, finds captain Azpilicueta, sends a good cross in. Couldn't find a player in white, but the Chelsea side continues to press, courtesy Marcos Alonso, and is blocked again by the Wolverhampton defenders. As the referee for today, Gordon Scott, decides it's a free kick, and it's not for Chelsea, it's for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, big shout out to our partners and sponsors on this bout, betway.com.ng. Do not forget you can register if you're a new user and also play at the website betway.com.ng. 5 minutes. It's still Wolves 0, Chelsea 0. Well, if you missed out on the early game, it was Liverpool who defeated Newcastle United by 3-1. Sadio Mane on the double. Mo Salah getting the other, and the only goal for Newcastle United came from William. So Liverpool stay unbeaten, 14 consecutive wins in the Premier League.
Well, I was talking with a few friends just coming over here, and they said probably because of the international break, that will be the major force that will determine that selection for Man City today. But apparently, they actually need to bring out a strong team because Liverpool are tearing away. That's 4 points now. If I make that with one extra game played, but they can't afford to fumble. You might say Norwich City, but we saw Newcastle actually take the lead in that game. But too bad for them. They couldn't keep their shape and keep their mentality. But for Man City. They are not going to go into that game as Carroll Road thinking it's Norwich City. They have to put out a strong team, so they will keep a tab on this Liverpool team who seem to be running away quite early on.
Back to the Molineux. It's Diogo Jota who recovers well for Wolves. Spreads the ball down to Dendonka. We can find Adama Traore on the right. The pacey winger takes the Chelsea defender on, sends a cross in. Well blocked again by the Chelsea side. Tammy Abraham has 4 goals to his name in 4 matches. The 4 goals came in 2 matches. 2 against Norwich and the other 2 against Sheffield United. Chelsea who have been banned from signing new players have decided to rely on some of the younger players. Mason Mount has been a brilliant revelation so far, along with Tammy Abraham, Chelsea's top scorer as we speak. Into the 7th minute, still goalless between Wolves and Chelsea. Possession count, it's Chelsea who are edging it with 53% to just 47% for Wolves.
Well, Bolarinwa, it's not a surprise to see Frank Lampard choosing to play in that diamond formation. Don't forget, under various managers, he played that sort of a formation as a player. So you like to see, you like to look at him and say that he's adopted some of those doctrines that he was used to as a player. And you look at how Chelsea has set out today. They're going to be pressuring Wolves a lot in the middle because they have more bodies in the middle. They're going to use it to suppress and probably surprise this Wolves team.
Well, it looks like we have a goal to report from a center. Well, maybe not quite, but the action in the other centers, you can't even keep your eyes away from it. But we'll stick to the plan. It's the Chelsea game. But of course, we'll let you know when goals are scored elsewhere. Chelsea manager Frank Lampard was talking tough ahead of this game. Huge respect as well for the Wolverhampton Wanderers side. So many people call them the best of the rest. When you look at what they achieved last season, finishing 7th. And they are at the moment involved in the Europa League for this season. Frank Lampard not wanting to raise too many hopes, especially when you look at the way they surrendered the 2-goal lead at Stamford Bridge 2 weeks ago against Sheffield United.
You might want to say probably early jitters for Frank Lampard, because you look at the games that he's lost coming into the season and the ones that he's been able to draw. But anyway, he hasn't played poorly. He hasn't played poorly at all. You just say his team have not settled yet. They didn't settle as early as he would expect them to settle. If they had settled early, probably we'll be singing a different song now. But he needs to get something very positive out of this game. They don't want to draw. Probably a win. That would lift the team spirit and actually put them on track.
Well, it's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea as they finally get the chance to go forward. The Wolves players applauding their players, it will seem.
Some of their greats, I think 2 stands there actually were supposed to honor 2 of their former players at this point in the game. That's what I think they are actually applauding. Doing at this point. Yes, at this point.
So mark of respect from the Wolves, like they call them. Well, we can report that goal has finally been confirmed. It's at Old Trafford, and it's Manchester United who have scored against Leicester. And guess what? It's Marcus Rashford. And guess what? It's a penalty that he just converted.
Finally, they break that penalty dog after Pogba and he himself, Rashford, missing penalties back-to-back games, and there were so many talks about how difficult it is for United to score penalties.
That was a function of the press. It was the press that brought that pressure.
I actually saw one
about
them saying maybe the rules of penalties have been changed just to allow Manchester United score from the penalty spots by FIFA and all that. But it's good to see United get in front. Like Kelele mentioned, this was a game that many thought United could potentially lose, but they've started very, very bright. Getting that first goal at Old Trafford, it's going to settle a lot of nerves in terms of for United. But then again, we know what Leicester City bring to the table. United are without Pogba. United are without Martial. United, a bit injury weak this time around, so it's going to be difficult for United. But great start for them, and great to see United score from the penalty spot.
Great to see them score from the spot. An area that they've actually faltered so far this season.
Goal.
Now play 4 penalties and scored twice and missed twice. Well, there's a ghost report. Kelele, where is that?
Well, it's Hong Sung-min. If I have to, just scramble the name a bit for Tottenham. Don't forget they are playing at the new stadium out there, and yes, they have gone ahead against Crystal Palace, and it was a beautiful solo goal. Got the ball, controlled sharply, beat one player, and wrong-footed the goalkeeper in the Crystal Palace goal.
So we have 2 goals in 2 different centres. Tottenham, Heung-min Son. And not forgetting at Old Trafford with Marcus Rashford from the penalty spot. 11 minutes at the Molineux. It's still goalless between Wolves and Chelsea. Chelsea gradually getting into the game as they can go forward with captain Cesar Azpilicueta. Kovacic well intercepted there, but Willian does well to recover and keep possession with the Chelsea side. Rudiger also back to the starting 11. Should be that man to settle the nerves in the defense.
Definitely.
And well, what that means now is Kurt Zouma, his position in the team continues to be threatened even further. We thought it was going to be either Kurt Zouma, most likely Kurt Zouma and Rudiger, a combination in that back line. But with what we've seen coming into the season for Chelsea, he's been a bit unsteady, and a lot of mistakes coming from him as well. A bit shaky. So for now, we know that back three is going to be Christensen, Rudiger, and Cesar Azpilicueta. Well, we know Marcos Alonso is also going to be darting up and down the pitch and supporting that defense as well. Bit of a surprise to see him, but that's because Emerson also picked up an injury play for Italy during the international break.
And Kelele throwing a Fikayo Tomori as well, and that makes even more problem for Kurt Zouma, who haven't started very well, like you mentioned, this season. Fikayo played the last game against Sheffield United, and he very, very decent performance. Kurt Zouma didn't help himself by, unfortunately scoring the own goal. But then again, it's a difficult situation for him. But one Frank Lampard will be definitely very lucky to have, or happy to have rather, because this is what managers crave for, that competition in the side. And it's only going to make the players, step up and play more, give all their all to the football club. And it's interesting for Chelsea. But how Frank Lampard deploys those guys at the back is very, very critical for Chelsea this season.
Well, it's critical for Chelsea. And also critical for Wolverhampton Wanderers with the pressure of impressing yet again this season. Raul Jimenez was their top scorer last season, regular when it comes to fantasy football. He has 2 goals already to his name this season.
Well, the other pair, a bit of a surprise, hasn't scored so far in the Premier League this season, Diogo Jota. But I think he has an assist, and it was for Raul Jimenez, by the way, coming into the 5th week here. So for me, they still need a bit of settling, maybe making it to the Europa League group stages will actually help their cause in the Premier League, because, well, aside the Premier League in Europe, they've been fantastic so far this season.
Well, it's Wolves will have the possession now and looking to go forward, but just too poor. That one coming in from Johnny, who is at right back. Then Dunker, pardon me, this time just couldn't get the right ball forward for his teammates. Then Dunker started to play regularly towards the end of last season, and since then he hasn't looked back.
Well, he was on loan from his Belgian side, and they made him their primary target aside Raul Jimenez during the summer, and they eventually got him for good money as well. And so far, Nuno Espirito Santo always speaks highly of him and talks about his work ethic as a player.
Well, there's 14 minutes on the clock. It's still Chelsea will have been the better side today against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they can build again from the back. Antonio Rudiger almost looked like a long time since he completed that move from Roma to Chelsea. He's really settled in nicely. Well, Chelsea will simply can't afford to lose another game. Remember that they've lost already this season. Their opening match against Manchester United at Old Trafford
was a bashing.
Could have won against Leicester, surrendered a goal lead. Could have done the same against Sheffield, surrendered a 2-goal lead. But went to Norwich and won by 3-2.
Well, breaking away to the Tottenham Hotspur game and London derby between Spurs and Crystal Palace is, really getting interesting. We saw Heung-min Son get that first goal for Tottenham, courtesy of an assist from guess who? A defender, Toby Alderweireld. I wonder who has him in his FPL team this weekend. Assist, and in almost
I have the answer for that.
Nobody.
At least nobody in the studio.
Nobody. Almost did again another assist, feeding Hon-Min Son, but the goalkeeper came out very quickly to smother that one and clear that effort from danger. So great start by Tottenham Hotspur. It's a London derby. We know how very tricky Crystal Palace can be. Saw them go all the way to Old Trafford and defeat Manchester United. But Tottenham, have started very brightly in this game now, controlling proceedings. Maybe next week, a hint for next week, get the defenders in your team for the FPL, and maybe you could get 1 or 2 extra points, courtesy of assist and goals from defenders.
Well, Chelsea with the possession, and it's Marcos Alonso to take a throw. A bit awkward to see him play, because we've seen Emerson Palmeiras play so far for Chelsea. But it's all about the defensive stability that Frank Lampard is looking to achieve at the club.
But a lot of him dwindling in form hasn't been solely his problem, because you look at over the past few seasons, the coaches have been a bit unsure, especially the last manager for Chelsea, Mauricio Sarri, was a bit unsure about Marcos Alonso. Comes into the team, uses him a bit, but then got a bit apprehensive with the kind of output he got from Marcos Alonso. I think if he doesn't have a very good season at this time, maybe he might be looking to make a move away from Stamford Bridge next season.
Do not forget, guys, play to win at betway.com.ng.
It's critical.
Very critical. The games are ongoing, but never miss out on it, because as we speak, the code is still active. So if you've missed out on some of the games being played, you can catch up on the remaining games, which is very important. At times, some games go downcast earlier, but when you enter in the middle, then you get to tap into the remaining games that will enter. So that's the idea. There's a better chance of you winning no matter what. And if you cast early, you feel the better.
And it's the weekend as well. So from now till tomorrow, you're going to have a handful of games.
Yeah. So to choose from. Again, I'll quickly take the codes that you can play. If you missed it the first time, it's 4E 8B C94, 4E 8E 0C5, 4E 90 25D, and 4E 9A 9DF. Good luck to you. All codes are generated at betway.com.ng. Tomori, I'll just call him in the traditional way.
Tomori, that's his name, Tomori.
Don't need to be British here.
Not Tomori.
Not Tomori.
Yes,
it's
Tomori.
Fikayo Tomori. It's okay. He's our own. We know. So we hope he brings that joy, because Ayo means joy. So I hope he brings joy to the faces of his parents first, and his family, and of course Chelsea fans and Nigerians. That's the priority, or the order, the pecking order when it comes to his career as a football player. Yeah, make your parents proud. 19 minutes, still goalless at the Molineux.
And well, out there in North London, it's still 1-0 in favor of Tottenham. About 18 minutes on the clock now.
It's Wolverhampton Wanderers who have a free kick. This one wasn't a good challenge coming in from the Brazilian, Willian. Looking at the stats so far for this match, just one shot so far, and that has gone in favor of Chelsea. Possession count has swung. It's now Chelsea with 47% and Wolves with 53%. No corner kicks yet, no shots on target, and no corner kicks. That's a strange start going into the 20th minute.
But you have to look at the game. Well, it started quite brightly, but it looks very frustrating to the eye now. I mean, the ball is just in the middle, almost like the middle of the pitch is waterlogged, just holding onto the ball. No real mobility on both ends. I mean, going to the flanks or looking to playing, the wider players. I think something needs to change a bit in terms of technique in the game. It's all about playing in the middle. I think both teams should do more, because they have men who can run. Adama Traore, especially from the Wolves side, and you don't even want to mention that man who's going to be running up and down, Willian, on the side of the Chelsea team.
Well, I spoke too early. We now have our first corner kick, and it's gone in for Chelsea. Mason Mount stepping up to play this one. It's going to be an in-swinger. Rudiger is right in there, along with Jorginho. It's taking low, and Chelsea can score! Narrowly misses, and it's a corner kick. Rudiger thought he got that one on target. Patricio was scrambling for that one, just couldn't see it. Good flick, and he got a wicked deflection. Narrowly.
Could have been an own goal.
Could have been an own goal.
Came off Adama Traore.
And it's another corner. 2 successive corner kicks for Chelsea. It's Mason Mount. Takes a long one. It's high. And it's cleared again by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Johnny can put it to safety. It's Diogo Jota who goes for the chase. But that was well covered by Cesar Azpilicueta, the Chelsea captain.
That was no nonsense defending. If Jota had gone, full blood into that one, probably could have lost a limb at this point in the game. That was a very good, challenge coming from Azpilicueta.
No nonsense defending from a man that's been under pressure ever since the start of this season. So much talk about him not being the same as Azpilicueta, Mr. Dependable, like they call him at Chelsea. Difficult to beat on one-on-one situations, but this season maybe, like Alile mentioned earlier, a slow start to the season, not just for Azpilicueta but for everybody at Chelsea. And there's another goal out there at the London Stadium, and it's a man, the African Serge Aurier, who's gotten the goal out there at Tottenham. So it's Tottenham who lead 2-0.
He's Kane on the field.
Harry Kane is there. Surprise him, he's not scored.
What's wrong with his head?
He's playing white shorts.
So it's Tottenham. It's Tottenham who lead 2-0 out there. And again, another defender scoring. One gets an assist, one scores again for Tottenham Hotspur. So very, very interesting season in the FPL, weekend in the FPL this time around. Strikers not finding the back of the net, but defenders.
Which is actually sad.
Very, very sad. And for a weekend where we thought it was going to be loads and loads and loads of goals, coming back from the international weekend, but it's defenders who are still in the limelight this time around. Deflection in there, so it's definitely going to be an own goal for that second goal, not a Serge Aurier goal.
He gets the assist.
He gets the assist.
I think he might be giving that goal because it was actually going.
It was more of a cross into the area cross come shot that just took a deflection. So it's Van Aanholt who might just be getting credited with that goal. But it's Tottenham who lead 2-0 out there at home against Crystal Palace.
So that's the latest of the goals. It's Tottenham who have scored the second against Crystal Palace. That's exciting to know that the goals haven't been shot in the game so far. Well, some other centres are yet to produce goals. Brighton against Burnley, still goalless. Sheffield against Southampton, also goalless. And of course, our feature match today, the Wolves against Chelsea. In case you're watching, you are definitely on the right platform, on Twitter, on YouTube and Facebook.
But it's raining goals. It's raining goals in London, North London. It's now 3. It's Mr. Son. It's Mr. Son with his second goal of the day. Wonderful assist. I think it was Harry Winks who brought that cross in. Very powerful cross. He didn't even think about it twice. He just whacked the ball into the low left-hand corner of that man. Gone. I think no be gone. No. Who they keep for Southampton against them?
Now arrow or cutlass. If it's not gone.
well, just hit it low and hard and beat the goalkeeper in goal.
Oh dear. I mean, you hear Tottenham have scored 3 goals, and the first name that comes to your head is Harry
Kane
or Christian Eriksen, or somebody will do something. At least Son is doing something.
We no get him. Now the one we get.
Son is scoring on a rainy day.
Heung-min Son, 2 goals already in 24 minutes for Tottenham.
And one goal, 1 assist for Serge Aurier.
Another assist for the Ivorian, who gets to start in the place of Kyle Walker-Peters, who is out nursing an injury. Of course, Kieran Trippier has already left the club, enjoying his time at Atletico Madrid in Spain.
They call it the dream move.
Yeah, and he's done well. He's been impressive so far.
Very, very.
I mean, most players go to other leagues and they seem to settle in easily. Truly, the Premier League is very tough.
Very tough. Very tough.
It's actually smart business from Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone.
Sorry to cut you. Apart from identifying, Atletico are the only top team in Europe to sell more than what they bought in the last transfer window.
Really?
They sold so much and they bought, but the difference is still a good business.
And you have to look at the quality of what they bought. They bought Trippier for what? I think 20 million pounds.
They sold. In fact, when they bought João Felix, I'm like, how do you pay so much? But they sold a lot of players to cover for that amount. So they did good business.
And all of the players, have been so brilliant. Great start to the season. You spoke about João Felix. I don't think he scored yet, or he scored once. Yeah. And has been very, very. The impact is huge, for them. this season. We saw that, albeit the fact that it's a friendly against Real Madrid where they trounced Real Madrid a couple of goals, but he was so impressive and you could see what these guys bring to Atletico Madrid. And for Kieran Trippier, I was talking about the fact that how they managed to identify that sort of player is so important to them. Had a couple of assists in the last game, one very brilliant cross. And we know Kieran for crosses, and free kicks and all that. So he's had that huge impact on Atletico Madrid and they're enjoying so much. And again, you look at the fee that they purchased him for just a little under £20 million. If he is to be sold now, you can imagine the amount he will go for. So very, very great business from Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid.
And we've been saying it all afternoon. Let me just tickle your hindsight a little. In local parlance, we'll say, let me give you a expo. We've been talking about Atletico Madrid. This season, they've done 1-0 twice already. So I'm just giving you a expo. Correct score 1-0.
Isn't that typical for Diego Simeone's side? And, since you've delved into what is happening at Atletico, there was a leak that showed that Diego Simeone is the highest paid manager in all of Europe. And the likes of Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp are going back to the negotiation table to get more money.
Well, let me add to that, Bolani.
What's a very bad leak?
Well, it's not a bad leak. There was already a few pointers to that fact, because there's something I learned that he has in his contract, that as long as he doesn't go to the Premier League, there's an entitlement, a bonus entitlement that he's going to get every season for not moving to the Premier League. And if you look at the past few seasons, a few English clubs have come calling, especially Chelsea have come calling, and he hasn't moved. So he's just chopping that bonus quietly.
All right, I guess that explains the massive amount he earns at Atletico, and it's done well. When you look at the last clubs to win the Spanish league, it's only Atletico. It's either Real or Barcelona, but he broke that line, if I can put it that way, and successfully won it. Was it in 2015?
I think 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. But it's kind of funny because you look at the standards are just so high there. Atletico are not they're not a pushover side, they're a quality side. But to think that you have to actually refer to them as best of the rest, because if Barcelona doesn't win and Real Madrid doesn't win, well, best of the rest actually wins, and that's Atletico Madrid. But I can tell you, they can go toe to toe with some of the best sides in the world.
Definitely go toe to toe, Atletico Madrid, when the others are not ready to win the title itself. So, well done to him. That's talking about Diego Simeone and what he's doing at the club. But just to quickly confirm the exact year that they won it, was actually in 2014. That was the 2013-2014 season when they won it ahead of the likes of Barcelona and Real. And after that, it's been Barcelona, Real, Barcelona.
Wasn't it that season that you almost...
They're back.
Wasn't it that season that you almost smashed your shin into the wall?
Don't remind me of that horrible experience. It was actually that season. That game can never be forgotten. Only few.
And they kept scoring, and they kept cancelling.
Exactly.
They score, they cancel.
This is the way you remind me. They scored 2 goals and they don't count them. That game went goalless. Chelsea can score, and it's Willian with a strike. A decent opening for Chelsea there, but Willian just couldn't keep a shot down, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
Well, it was inside the box in that last action. I think cutting the ball back would have paid even more dividend for Chelsea. Was it Mason Mount? It was Mason Mount calling for the ball, and Willian, one of the biggest criticism of his game, never really raises his face.
It doesn't.
He just went for the shot, and the shot was wayward in the end.
Well, Willian now wears the jersey number 10, in case you don't know, for Chelsea. That news was made public just before the start of the season. Of course, the former owner of that shirt, Hazard, has since gone to Real Madrid.
And made his debut today for Real Madrid, by the way.
Speaking of which, they won that game by 3-2. Benzema twice, Casemiro with the other. Today for the
Merel for Levante, and the boy who is on loan, Borja Mayoral, also scored for Levante.
30 minutes, Wolves 0, Chelsea 0.
And Bala, talking about Willian, it's a lot of responsibility for him this season, especially with the departure of Eden Hazard. You look up at that Chelsea squad, how many players are in that team that can really feel that or attempt to fill in that Eden Hazard, situation at Chelsea. And Willian is just one of those players that you look forward to. He's been handed that number 10 jersey, famous number 10 jersey, and he spoke about his excitement at receiving it and how much of a responsibility it is for him. So he's got to, raise his game and raise to match the expectation of Chelsea this season.
Chelsea can go forward now. Mason Mount sends the ball to Aspilicueta. And it's blocked, and it's going to be a Chelsea corner. It's Johnny who managed to get the block in. And Chelsea have a third corner kick of the match. Rudiger always there, providing air presence for the Chelsea side during the set plays.
Something they might want to deny it all they want, but they seem to be missing with the move of David Luiz to Arsenal.
Definitely one player that could provide a lot when it comes to set pieces. There's a short corner taken quickly by Willian. Gets the ball to the edge of the area. And it's Jorginho, poor first touch there, but can recover. Finds Willian. Willian carefully looking for the space. Find Mason Mount. And it's Rudiger. Tomori with a strike! What a goal from Fikayo Tomori! It's the debut for Chelsea, and he's marked it with a brilliant strike, and he celebrates with the Chelsea fans at the Molineux. What a dream goal for the Nigerian-born British defender Fikayo Tomori. Wolves 0, Chelsea 1.
How did he do that?
And it's a horror for any goalkeeper because the ball kept swerving in mid-air. I mean, look at that, Patricio.
Wow.
Had gone the other way. Ball swerved to the other way. Readjusting his body became a nightmare for him. Wonderful goal, but a goalkeeper's nightmare any day.
Well, how did he do that? Had to quickly bring that one back, and it's a beautiful strike there from a defender. This is a striker's goal, but Fikayo saw that space and decided to spin it.
And he knew what he wanted to do exactly. He knew that was where he was going for. Good for him. Ball kept spinning and made it difficult for the goalkeeper.
And it's not like he put his laces through that one. It's just sidestep
Direction.
that one. Direction.
Technique.
Just technique, more of technique. Picked
Yes.
his spot and, maybe assisted by the wind or anything, but that was a brilliant strike. Very, very brilliant. And what a way to open scoring for Chelsea. Talk about him coming into the Chelsea team last weekend and this weekend. He's capped off that brilliant performance last weekend with a cracking goal. Arguably, definitely the goal of the week.
So far.
Definitely. No argument about that.
Well, coming from an Arsenal fan, it might sound patronizing, but I tell you, I have belief in Chelsea and Manchester United. Some of the most useful players, coming into the season, and the future is quite bright. A lot of people might not see it now. A lot of Manchester United, a lot of Chelsea fans might not see it now. But you look at both teams' future, definitely bright. As to what they can achieve in the next few years.
So it's Chelsea who have our first goal at the Molineux, 32 minutes and counting. It's Chelsea leading 1-0 against Wolves. Fikayo Tomori, a 4th start this season, and has already justify his place in the team. Frank Lampard also a happy coach. When coaches do this and give the young players a chance to play and they score, they can be proud. And it's not just a goal. It's a beautiful goal scored by Tomori.
It's a goal and a half.
Already the contender for the goal of the season.
And William maybe needs to borrow a leaf from that book, because Tomori, just before he took that ball,
and Tomori goes forward again. Sorry to cut you. Mason Mount. That should be a penalty. The referee says goal. And Chelsea scores second. It's Tammy Abraham.
Is he calling it back?
Tammy Abraham scores the second for Chelsea. Referee will not call that back. Another brilliant move. Tomori started it. Mason Mount fell to the ground. The referee said play on advantage. And afterwards, it was Tammy Abraham who scores the second for Chelsea. Make it number 5 for the season for Tammy Abraham. 34 minutes. Wolves 0, Chelsea 2.
Well, I think a bit of stutter, because somewhere in there it looked like Tammy Abraham might have been offside, but then a look at it, goal clearly correct, and Mason Mount could have gotten a penalty.
Oh, the referee, I wasn't sure whether the referee played at advantage or was always going to call it back.
He was looking at the advantage.
Okay,
I
and
think
that was a good decision.
Tammy Abraham
that may
hadn't
have confused the Wolves defenders as well.
Yes.
They were thinking he was going to call for a penalty,
Yes.
but then credit to Tammy Abraham for playing the game on.
Let me tell you the funniest part. Mason Mount was still complaining on
About
why he wasn't awarded the penalty. Meanwhile, Tammy Abraham has scored. He was like,
celebrating.
"Oh, okay, that's fair. then we can go on." So it's Chelsea who have scored 2 goals in 4 minutes.
It's vindication for Frank Lampard and justification. We talk about youth coming into the side, and credit to him. This is what it's all about. And one man spoke during the international break about not really, coming here to sit on the bench and look, that's Olivier Giroud, record goal scorer. But then again, with Tammy Abraham doing what he's done so far this season, it's a difficult decision for Frank Lampard. That's 5 goals in 5 games for Tammy Abraham. Difficult decision. Olivier Giroud has got to, do better than this to displace this young man. Talk about movement. Talk about
Sam,
positioning.
it's not difficult.
It's difficult.
It's not difficult.
How do you displace Tammy from the team? He's scoring goals at the moment.
What I'm saying is not. You don't have to displace Olivier Giroud. It's not difficult.
Well, Olivier was the top scorer in the Europa League last season.
That was the Europa League. This is the Premier League.
That's such a huge competition to achieve
and
that.
This man understands English football.
Yeah, I haven't come from the ranks.
And you have to look at the fact that he played in Championship. They play a lot of games. Is a great.
Well, the quality of the Championship is quite different to that of the Premier League.
In terms of power.
Yeah,
you expend more power playing in the Championship.
More games.
More games is grilling.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't think. Well, if I was Lampard, I won't think about it.
No, they doesn't care at this
point. Giroud will play
the
Europa League. He will be the top scorer again this season. No, sorry, he will play the Champions League. Pardon me.
And of course, Abraham has the energy to burn. He's a younger. Giroud will not give you consecutive matches. No way. That's not going to happen. But Tammy Abraham will provide that. So
please, who's thinking it? It looks like
it's an easy decision actually.
No,
for
who's
the manager.
thinking this? It looks like Wolves might be candidates for relegation this season.
Well,
or they might be a Burnley.
Yeah,
they might be
because
safe
of the distraction
in
in Europe.
We saw that with Burnley the previous season,
yeah.
where it was too much. But then again, it's about stepping up to the plate. Should they have signed more players to accommodate for the more games?
They got in
they
a few
have
players.
to play. But
the Vallejo guy in midfield.
Well, it's a case
also
of not
joined.
being.
He actually signed so many players.
He signed a few players.
Well, one or two additions is good, but then is it maybe 4, 5, 6 more players for the amount of games they have to play? Because clearly it's a case of the Europa League being a huge distraction for them,
and they loaned out a few as well.
So maybe they should have kept a few, to get more players in the team.
Costa.
And they are making progress in the Europa League. I mean, beating Torino home and away is something I never saw coming for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But then it's coming thick and fast for them. Thursday night football, Saturday night football. I wonder how Nuno is going to manage that this season.
Looks like they'll find it hard to take. Talking about the Wolverhampton Wanderers side. On a normal day, they wouldn't be 2 goals down. Last season, they actually beat Chelsea on this ground. It's a different story in 2019.
They beat almost all the big teams that came here on this ground.
But with the Europa League, that's enough distraction, as we've seen for so many middle table clubs in the Premier League.
And well, my expectations coming into this afternoon actually seems to be working well. Manchester United doing well in their own game as well, and Chelsea here are leading. Those were teams that I expected to win. Well, it might be a difficult ground, the Molineux, but Wolves are not at their best by any means coming into the season. So Chelsea seems to be feeding off it quite well.
And it's not like Chelsea have been vintage, played 100%. It's just them, capitalizing on the chances, on the mistakes that Wolves, if they've even actually made any, and Chelsea just been ruthless in front of goal. Tammy Abraham, again, taking advantage, and similar to the goal he scored against Sheffield Wednesday, there's just something about him always sniffing out danger, identifying the fact that the ball could fall here and could fall there, and makes himself available to, finish that one. So it's Wolves really needing to step up to the plate this season. Maybe Nuno has got to tweak something tactical, not so much expansive football, especially when you play against the top teams, because like I said earlier, Chelsea have not been vintage, but they're 2 goals up at the moment.
With 39 minutes on the clock, it's still Chelsea will have a comfortable lead against the Wolves, but Wolves can pull one back. Diogo Jota turns beautifully, but just couldn't get the right touch, and Chelsea can clear. Keep your messages coming on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. We will like to hear what you make of the game so far. And you can also join us via the official WhatsApp page. I'll come to that in a jiffy. And yes, the almighty phone lines is also there for you to talk to us. When it's time, I'll let you know. Well, keep playing at betway.com.ng. That's the website. In case you missed out on the code, I'll take it just one time, so you can cash in and play.
It's critical.
Very critical. That should be the phrase now. Officially brought by Kelele. So the code again is 4E8BC94 for the games of the weekend. And another code is 4E9A9DF. Again, it's 4E8BC94 and 4E9A9DF. It's what we're giving back to you. We said don't play them. So we all win together. 40 minutes on the clock. The Wolves nil, Chelsea 2. To all the other centers, let's let you know that it's still as you were. Tottenham 3, Crystal Palace 0. Sheffield 0, Southampton 0, Manchester United 1, Leicester 0, Brighton 0, Burnley 0.
Well, Burnley, Brighton, Fisherman Okro.
That's
Draw.
why I have Nick Pope.
Draw.
He's my goalkeeper in fantasy football. It's been
And
my goalkeeper since the start
And
of the
Ryan
season.
is my own goalkeeper.
Yo, perfect. So perfect.
I actually had Rui, but
Rui Patricio.
yeah,
Oh
he
dear.
was goalkeeper.
That shot. That's Fikayo.
Don't collect two.
That Fikayo shot.
Fikayo, what a ball. Or Ebola. All right, Whelan can go forward now. Bits his man, and he has space to burn. Yes, gets to the ball. And Chelsea have another chance to get a goal. Early cross there from Willian. Just couldn't find Tammy Abraham. Maybe he should have pushed the ball forward. And Chelsea was still on the attack. Marcos Alonso sends a cross in. Tammy Abraham! Tammy Abraham gets the second of the match. Officially, he is now the highest goal scorer in the Premier League. What a cross by Marcos Alonso, and what a beautiful finish by Tammy Abraham. This time, it comes from the head. And Chelsea have a 3-goal lead in 40 minutes.
Amazing, Bola. Amazing, really. How do you see it? No one would have saw this coming. Chelsea against Wolves, halftime, 3-0. But great performance from Chelsea. I mean, we talk about Willian almost, missing that chance, but credit to Marcos Alonso. He kept that one. And what a delicious cross into the area. This is why Marcos, for some, needs to be playing for Chelsea. It's all about what he brings going forward. Maybe not so much defensively, but credit to Tammy Abraham. Again, being in the right position at the right time. The cross was good, and the header was equally brilliant. The perfect way, the perfect finish to that perfect cross. Chelsea 3-0 up.
I'll tell you something for Wolves that's not going well this afternoon. Conor Cody and Vallejo are not working. It's obvious they're missing Willy Bolly.
Okay.
They are not first to those balls that come into the defensive area. If you are first to the ball, it means you deal with them perfectly. And Tammy Abraham is such a player that, he's a player that is so dangerous because on foot, he has a very good shot on him. In the air, he has range and he has power to actually get those goals. That was a very beautiful team goal coming from Chelsea. But the first, coming up to that goal, Willian did not do well when it comes to his decision making. He needs to work on that as well.
So Chelsea will have a 3-goal lead against the Wolves in 42 minutes. Yes, you heard me right. Wolves 0, Chelsea 3. Tammy Abraham has scored twice. And Fikayo Tomori, who makes his debut in the defense of Chelsea, has also scored.
But anyway, it's a no-brainer. I'm buying Tammy Abraham.
Okay, looks like a punt. And that player
It's no more Timo Pukki.
will be the right decision.
I bought Timo Pukki this morning.
Timo Pukki. You're just joining the Pukki party.
But anyway, it's 4. It's 4 in North London.
Finally, Kane.
It's
Kane has
Eric
assisted.
Lamela. Eric Lamela, a Kane
Kane
assist.
got an assist.
A rare
Thank
Kane assist coming from that goal. Tottenham, you might want to say a home and dry on this one, because normally at this point, if it's the normal Crystal Palace that came to North London, you won't be beating them 4-0 at this point in the game.
Well, this Crystal Palace side have caused so many upsets this season. They've decided to mess the best of teams up. We saw what they did last season to Manchester City. Have already defeated Manchester United this season at Old Trafford.
Did to Arsenal as well last season.
Did to Arsenal.
And Arsenal used the entire summer looking for Wilfred Zaha.
But not against Tottenham in London today.
Not to be.
Tottenham will have the better outing so far. 4 goals. It's not even second half yet. But back to the Molineux. Wolves looking to pull at least a goal back before the break. It's not happening at the moment. Dama Traore has got his work cut out. Well done there by Kovacic. Finds Willian. Kovacic still with the ball. Spreads it down to the captain, Azpilicueta, on the left. Chelsea passing the ball around beautifully. That's the kind of confidence you get when you've scored 3 goals.
But anyway, surprisingly, for a team like Wolves, Chelsea are seeing too much of the ball. They can make mistakes, come back and correct the mistakes, make another one, and still come back and correct the second mistake. It's how easy it's become for them. Wolves, no midfield presence, and I said it, they shouldn't be playing a 3-man midfield looking at how Chelsea are coming here to play. Chelsea are coming here to press them down the middle, and if they can get an upper hand, which they have now in the middle, they will pump the balls towards the wings and the wider sides, and the balls will come in, and Chelsea will be getting goals.
Chelsea will definitely score goals. It's like they're testing their ability to recover the balls back. So they intentionally give away possession.
Without an N'Golo Kante, who is chief at recovering
And
the ball.
Raul Jimenez is actually a winger now. He's going to crossing the balls for Diego Jota.
Isolation for Jota now.
Well, it's Chelsea who are definitely singing blue is the color. A sizable amount of Chelsea fans in the Midlands. Marcos Alonso had an assist so far. Looks like it's not that bad for Chelsea when you look at some of the players who are still not fit to play, and they're playing this well against a very good Wolves side.
And it's the thing about games. I mean, you might come in and say one player is this, one player is that, is dropped from, but it only takes a game. Chelsea have not won anything all season long coming into the season, but they won against Norwich City, pardon me, just the one odd game against Norwich City away. But you have to look at Chelsea and look at the way that Alonso seems to be playing. Alonso is playing well, and the entire Chelsea team are actually playing better than I've seen them play so far this season. This is the most comfortable that I've seen Chelsea in any game in the Premier League this season so far.
Mason Mount, what a revelation.
And Bola, it starts from the back four. Look at the Chelsea back four as compared to the back four in other games.
You actually talked about a back three, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, a back three. Defensively, let's look at the defense. It's the most decent you can see Chelsea, this season. Rudiger's presence in that defense is so huge for Chelsea. Lampard couldn't stop talking about that he needs to get Rudiger back into that side just for the sake of experience to lead the other guys. Rudiger, Christensen and Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta looks more comfortable today, not really had much to do because there's always the likes of Rudiger to cover up for him. So it's good to see these guys come back into the side. Chelsea look more decent going forward. Alonso in the side now looks like he's been playing. He's not, I've been playing since the start of the season, not even minding the fact that it's been, Emerson Palmieri who's played that game. So it's very, very good for Chelsea this season. As much as, we've criticized them, I think we have to give credit to them. Lampard, always spoke about this. It's about having the full complement of your squad. When you have that, then you can really assess the performance of the team. And based on that today, Chelsea look good going forward.
We're into additional time. The referee is signaling just 2 minutes before the end of the first half. Tammy Abraham is on the hat-trick. Haven't scored twice already for Chelsea in this spectacle that we're witnessing at the Molineux, and it's finally blown. The referee decides to end the first half of the game. It's Chelsea who go into the break with a 3-0 lead against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tammy Abraham on the double, and of course debut goal for Fikayo Tomori. Let's quickly go to the other centers and see if we can confirm that the games have also gone into halftime. Well, it's Tottenham who still lead 4-0 against Crystal Palace. It's United 1, Leicester 0. Brighton against Burnley still goalless. Looks like it's going to end that way. I'm sure Kilele's on that one with me. And Sheffield United against Southampton, another candidate to end goalless. One of those games will surely produce a goal at some point, but I won't put my money on Brighton or Burnley scoring at the Amex Stadium this beautiful day. So let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll tell you more from our sponsors, betway.com.ng. A lot for you to enjoy this beautiful day in the world of football, particularly in the Premier League, as we continue to track the football matches. Keep it locked. 99.3 Nigeria Info, Bolariwa, Samuel and Kelele right here in the studio. We'll be back. Stay with us.
This is my good friend Sunday. He's named after one of the greats. To Sunday, Saturday is more important than Sunday. He'll spend the whole of the week preparing for it, thinking about his bets, listening to the so-called experts, so that by the time Saturday arrives, Sunday is ready. This is my good friend Sunday. He's named after one of the greats. To Sunday, Saturday is more important than Sunday. He'll spend the whole of the week preparing for it, thinking about his bets, listening to the so-called experts, so that by the time Saturday arrives, Sunday is ready. This is my good friend Sunday. He's named after one of the greats. To Sunday, Saturday is more important than Sunday. He'll spend the whole of the week preparing for it, thinking about his bets, listening to the so-called experts, so that by the time Saturday arrives, Sunday is ready.
I was just telling the guys in the studio that Chelsea making a no forehand though. 3-0 looks like 3 points already. But maybe I shouldn't be playing this song at this point in time.
Don't offend the gods of 4-4-3-3.
I know. But Chelsea should, go on to win.
Mama will just be looking at you like this.
Like Mama smiles. Welcome back to the show, 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's Football Frenzy, and it's all things Premier League with our broadcast partners, the BBC. And not forgetting betway.com.ng. Speaking of which, we want to also let you know that you can play and win at betway.com.ng. There's still time for you to get into all of the excitement. The awareness cannot be better with Betway. So many winners already this season. One has won 50 million naira, staked 13,000 naira, and cashed out big. Was paid instantly. That's what BetKing guarantees. So no dull yourself. The win boost is one that I've never seen before. 250,000, 250% bonus on your bet slip. It simply means when the cash out comes, it's going to be boosted, so you get more money based on the number of odds that you choose. But most importantly, the codes are out there for you to play. Do not forget, visit the website betway.com.ng. We've got the booking codes for this week. If you haven't played, I'll quickly read out the codes for you one more time so you do not miss out on all the goodies that Betway have promised this beautiful day. We're proud to be associated with what they're doing, and we're proud of the winners that we've been able to produce so far this season. So to the codes we go one more time: 4E, 8B, C94, and we also have 4E, 9A, 9DF. Again, it's 4E, 8B, C94, 4E, 9A, 9DF. And also we have this one, 4E, 8E, 0C5. 4E, 8E, 0C5. And not forgetting 4E, 9025D. 4E, 9025D. You can fund your wallets, your Betway account. It's simply betway.com.ng. Like I keep preaching, go to the bank mobile app, just select gaming and lottery or sports gaming, click Betway, your user ID is your phone number. Do not put the plus 23480 and so on. Don't put the plus, and you'll be funded instantly. You can also walk into a Guaranteed Trust Bank branch and tell the cashier that you want to fund your Betway account. All you need to provide is your user ID, which is your phone number, like I mentioned, and the amount of money you want to deposit, and of course the debit card payment methods, your card number, your CVV number, your PIN. Then voila, you get your account funded for you to play. So Kelele, exciting first half. Chelsea, well, maybe not so surprising with all the goals they've scored so far.
Well, I expected them to win the game. I said it coming into the broadcast. I expected them to win the game, and the only thing they can do wrong now is the pot is already on the stove and it's boiling quite well, but they shouldn't try and refill kerosene in that stove with the fire on. That's the only thing they can do now to actually kill what seems to be like a tonic for them, a tonic booster coming into the season. I would say their season seems to be starting today. It's been a clinical display. Well, going forward, they haven't really been tried in defense, but going forward, they've been quite clinical because I don't think they've had too many shots. But I mean, all the shots they've had, they actually converted. Apart from the Williams shots, they converted. I think they had about 5 shots. They've converted 3. That's pretty clinical, judging by everything. But for Manchester United, I also say that's a game I expected them to win. They are leading. Let's see if they can keep their heads together, because one thing Manchester United are poor at doing is actually keeping a clean sheet at home. I think last season was all of 3 clean sheets at home. Manchester
last
United,
season 2, this season 1.
Well, Manchester United, they just know how to concede. They will get goals, but they know how to concede. They need to keep it tight at the back. But for Tottenham, I'll have to say, maybe you should even play the Tottenham anthem. That's a game that looks dead and buried for me. But Burnley and Brighton is still a bit shady. You mentioned something about 1 odd goal in both games, the Southampton game and the Burnley game. That's the Burnley, Brighton game and the Southampton Sheffield United game. And Sheffield have been again. I'm under Chris Wilder. A very difficult team to break down. They were the teams that got the 2-2 draw before the international break against Chelsea. So I want to say those games are just can go anywhere. But the major games we are seeing, I expect all the teams that are in the front foot to actually kill it off and let it stay the way it is.
Well, it's only fair that we pay tribute to a team that is also set to get 3 points today in the Premier League. They are called Tottenham Hotspur. Samuel, before we head straight to the phone lines, 5 games so far, no surprises yet. Which of the games do you think will likely spring up a surprise or 2?
It's difficult to call at this point in time. I mean, Kelly has mentioned it. The teams in front at this moment, you expect them to, still go ahead to win. But I'm still skeptical about that United game. United this season, have been, a bit of a yo-yo team. At some point, they are, doing well. At some point, they are, imploding, self-implosion and all that. But for Chelsea, it's a very interesting game. I never saw that one coming. I thought even if Chelsea were going to win, it was going to be a struggle. Maybe a 3-2, 3-4-3 kind of scoreline. But Chelsea, for some reason, seem to, play better away from home. When they're at home, there seems to be so much pressure on Chelsea. And, seeing this game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, yes, you can say Wolves are, having so much to deal with in terms of the amount of games they have to play. But Nuno has, decided to be that sort of manager we loved him for last season with his, formation and tactics. He's stuck with that same tactics today. Like I mentioned, maybe his own undoing against the big teams. You may just think he should be a bit more flexible, a bit more cautious. Chelsea have really not been up to second gear, but they've exploited the Wolves backline really. Konokodi and others have for some reason not particularly clicked today, and that's very disappointing. But for Chelsea, I mean, Tammy Abraham, what else can we say about this young man? There was so much pressure coming on him coming into this season, being the front man. He's managed to displace Olivier Giroud, and he's continued in that vein of form by scoring all the goals. Chelsea needs 6 goals at this point in time, and it's just 5 goals in games into the season ahead of the likes of Aguero. And there's something about the way he plays. I mentioned this earlier. It's his movement, it's his positioning and all that. Very critical. Frank must be delighted. Chelsea must be delighted. So I expect the result to stay this way. Apart from the other games, Burnley and others, typical 0-0 scoreline, straight draw and all that. But good game so far.
Well, I just caught a tweet on our Twitter page at Nigeria Info FM, and Ayodeji Ogunbade just says, "Is that not Kelele in the studio with you?" 100% yes, it's Kelele who just join us on the broadcast, and we hope to see him regularly. If he doesn't come, we understand. Also has to pay. But this man, whatever Femi and the gang is, this man played a very good role, and he's always kept in touch since that time. So let's quickly go back to the phone lines. It's not like we've gone to the phone lines today, but let's go to the phone lines and let's feel your pulse before the start of the second half. The lines are buzzing, and what that means is you know what to do. We pick it. Tottenham on their way to Wembley. Oh, they look good already today. Everybody will be singing. Name.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Ola calling from Festa Town.
Good to have you join us on the show, Ola.
I agree with you. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm happy for Chelsea to win this Wolfo because people have been laughing me in my area. The Chelsea cannot do anything.
That
They
game
cannot do anything.
is Chelsea game, 100%.
Frank Lampard is a BP coach. I know Chelsea normally for second half now. I don't want them to score any goal. You understand?
Yeah.
So I just want the goal to be 4-0. You understand? For the people of Chelsea.
One more goal.
4-0. One more goal.
Thanks for
I agree
calling.
with you.
I appreciate Chelsea happy fan. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is Gordon calling from Alaska. I want to ask the scoreline between Lyon for yesterday and Juventus where they are playing.
Juventus was goalless coming into the studio. I'll try and confirm that. Coming to the studio was goalless. I'll try and confirm the scoreline.
Yeah, no score for 30 minutes for Juventus game. Yeah, you don't cast too. I don't know. Hello. Turn off your radio, please. Hello. Okay, that's a very, very disobedient
good
caller.
afternoon, Femi and Gange.
Good afternoon to you, Marcel.
How are you?
We're doing good, Marcel.
How are you?
Awesome stuff.
Thank you so much.
I wait on you back, right?
Shit.
Master, somebody papa on the line. Yeah, I'm a Chelsea supporter. I'm very, very bad in job. I'm not what it is. I'm listening to your paper in my workshop here. That my daddy is winning by 3 goals to Bondo, from Abraham. I think, very good, massive win. I think they should not sleep up like Sheffield Wednesday. Just winning 2 on the day. They come out and correct 2-2. Please, I'm not praying that it happened today. Congratulations, my best. Thank you very much. Kelele and Bola, they were up Femi and Gange.
Put Samuel into the equation. Final caller for now as we get ready for the second half.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's
Is that
your name?
Nigerian info?
Yes, you're live.
Yeah, please, I want to ask about the Man U scores.
1-0.
Oh, who scored for Man U?
Marcus Rashford penalty.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling straight to the question. And of course, the answer is never far away. Well, on Twitter, quickly, let's see the messages we have before the second half starts. WhatsApp, we're coming. I promise you. When the time presents itself, we will definitely take your calls. Toby the Great says, great job, guys. At least Chelsea can put a smile on my face after 45 minutes. But you guys are not noticing Juventus. Owo blow. We just noticed. We actually noticed.
And Owo is actually blowing.
Oh, this is blowing. 30 minutes, a goal, you have cast. Okay. All right. So happy for Tammy. Nigeria should call this guy to the Super Eagles. Ademola Aziz says. Ronson says, Bola, welcome Kelele. Where have you been? Well, quick one. Tammy's second goal to Aguero on the grid. 6 goals each. But Aguero has an assist. Okay. Thank you for putting that one in. Hi, guys. I'm feeling you guys on your show. Commentaries, the way you talk of the EPL games, giving size info, Chelsea all the way to weep Wolves in front of their fans. And this one, Akeem says, good for Chelsea. On the bright side, both goals scored by players of Nigerian origin, Tomori and Abraham. Fair enough, you have to say. Okay, I think that's the much we can take for now on our Twitter page at Nigeria Info FM. Do not worry. We'll go back when it's time. Thank you for all the messages. We totally appreciate as we get ready for the second half of the game between Wolves and Chelsea. Chelsea with advantage, and they're looking to score more.
Well, Bolarinwa, I'll tell you, second half has started actually in that Chelsea game, and there's been a substitution. I'm waiting for the confirmation of the player that was actually changed. But Dendonka, yes, Kutroni, an extra striker is actually on for Wolves now. So just like we were, insinuating, just when we went for a break, Wolves want to score. They want to score. And, well, speaking of scoring, a team that almost scored a fifth was Tottenham. The goalkeeper for Crystal Palace seems to be doing a yeoman's job, trying to keep his team in the game.
So the second half is underway. Chelsea now playing from right to left on our screen. And it's Wolves who are playing from left to right. 48 minutes and counting. Wolves 0, Chelsea 3. And it's Wolves who are looking to get a goal back. May just be the start of a fight back. Yao Moutinho on this one. It's going to send it high into the 18-yard area. It's headed clear by Chelsea. And it's a strike by Ruben Neves. deflected and is out for a corner kick.
Well, the only other player who seems to be challenging his throne as one of the best, scorers from of the ball from outside the area, seems to be that man. Seems to be that man, Harry Wilson, the midfielder for Bournemouth.
Well, Harry Wilson, that midfielder for Bournemouth, already scored 2 spectacular goals so far this season. Well, it's a corner kick and it's taken short by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Moutinho looked to get the cross in and is out for another corner kick after that block by Mateo Kovacic.
And they seem to be getting their own. They seem to be getting their own corners now. It was Chelsea in the first half. Looks like it's the turn of Wolves for the corners in the second.
So Moutinho takes the corner kick. It's high into the 18-yard area. Still possession with Wolves. Ruben Neves spreads the ball back to where it came from. Well blocked there by Kovacic, who seems to be everywhere for the Chelsea side. Adama Traore finds Ruben Neves. Well blocked there. Willian. Moutinho spreads the ball forward to Raul Jimenez. We looks together. An early crossing blocked again by Fikayo. Oh, it's a substitution that we can quickly confirm for Chelsea. It's not Fikayo. It's Kotzuma. Let's quickly confirm that substitution that has been made at halftime. It's Rudiger who has been taken off for Kotzuma. I'm sure that's a forced substitution from the manager, Frank Lampard. But it's what it is. So 2 top substitutions already made by both managers. That's 1 apiece.
It was actually a doubt coming into this game. It was still a bit of a 50-50 scenario. I was surprised. He actually even made it into the game. But I think it was one of the reasons why they were very stable at the back in the first half. I'm hoping Kotzuma is going to borrow a leaf from his book and try to keep Chelsea in this game, probably give them the victory they deserve so far.
Well, Tammy Abraham seems to be causing a nuisance for the Wolverhampton's defenders. Seems to be drawing the fouls from the Wolves players as well.
He's happily married to the Wolves back line.
Well, it's Wolves who can attack here. Raul Jimenez gets the ball on the right. What does he do? Was then flagged offside. That looks like a correct decision already by the assistant referee on the far side. Picked it out and called it. Graham Scott is your center referee for today. You can't say he's had a bad game so far.
And you have to say, good pressure. It looked like it was Zuma putting pressure on Diego Jota there, made him delay that pass. Well, Raul Jimenez didn't go too early, but the disturbance from Kotzuma actually made that pass a little longer, and that hence that offside call in favor of Chelsea.
So it's now a defensive partnership of Fikayo Tomori and Kotzuma for Chelsea. Of course, like you saw in the first half, Fikayo Tomori scored his first ever goal for Chelsea. And it was a beautiful strike.
What some people will call a master blaster.
Master. We can call him now, Fikayo Tomori. Reminds me of my playing days. I still play though.
That's true. You still play.
I'm not even making mouth. So anybody that is
that wants to come and try you,
come and try me. Kelele is here. He's seen me play. I actually still play, and I'm serious about that. I used to play. I played for so many teams growing up.
Just that they are too rough. You're like Marco Materazzi.
As a very tough player that I am.
Not rough. Well, you're tough. Let's say you're tough. Not rough.
Gary Neville has always been my role model because I like to run forward whenever I play defense. So just get the ball to me when I overlap, and I like to score too. I remember Femi used to beg me that Bola, don't go forward. We don't need you to go forward now. Just stay in the defense.
Stay put. Don't go away. N'Golo Kante, don't go.
He's always scared that when I go forward that they attack them. Now go. All right, let's go. Is there a goal in the center?
No, not a goal yet, but
almost a goal.
Yes, we can see Rudiger in picture actually. Abolani, I think that injury. It was a first a substitution. It was an injury enforced, hopefully. But one thing I just saw in the Tottenham game that a player was running away from the ball. He had a chance to hit the ball. He ran away from the ball.
The ball must have
scared him.
Appeared to him like fire.
Probably turned into that lion, that proverbial lion.
Yeah, right.
Too many scam stories. Well, it's Chelsea with the attack. Kotzuma will just come on to replace Antonio Rudiger. At times you just look at Kotzuma and you feel it's a time bomb waiting to explode. Maybe not today. It could just be one of his better games for Chelsea. Made mistakes against Manchester United, made costly mistakes against
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United as well.
And he had such a great season. I'm on loan to Everton last season. Had such a wonderful end to the campaign. Everton tried to buy him, but Chelsea were not having any of that.
Also earned a place in the French national team. Played during the international window.
As we see one of the Kentucky Derby, people are falling off. The man that likes to run. That's why it makes me think of the Kentucky Derby. Adama Traore.
And it's Chelsea on the attack from the left. Mason Mount sends an early cross in. Almost finding Tammy Abraham with on a hat trick. But the defense of Wolverhampton Wanderers do their job. And it's out for a throw-in. Tammy Abraham has goals in his eyes, not blood this time.
Well, he hasn't even played a half a dozen games for Chelsea. He's already been on a hat trick. On 2 occasions. This being the second occasion, didn't get it on the first one. I'm hoping he gets it today. It will be a very proud moment for the young man.
Well, the proud moment as Tammy Abraham is now on the same number of goals with Sergio Aguero, who has 6 goals. So it's the joint top scorer of the Premier League, at least till Aguero plays later today. Manchester City will play against Norwich. Kickoff is 5:30 p.m. Temu Pukki on 5 goals. Raheem Sterling also on 5 goals. Not forgetting Salah, who scored today on 5 goals.
That's actually one man in very good form. Also scored for Finland in their 2 games during the international window. Actually, those were the only goals.
Let me take it back. Salah is on 4. Likewise, Mane. Both on 4 goals.
Yes, scored 2 goals during the international break for his national team. That's the Finnish national
I'll take
team.
it back again now.
Okay.
Salah is actually on 5
goals because he scored today. I wanted to finish it before I come to that. But well, thanks for taking us back.
And talking about Sadio Mane, he's also on 5 goals. So it's a tough contest this season in the Premier League. The table I have here is not updated, so I had to do the count in my head.
Yes.
Not everything you have to depend on computers. Tammy Abraham! And it's a goal! It's Tammy Abraham who scores another goal for Chelsea. The hat-trick has happened. Tammy Abraham, now I can say, is the official top scorer of the Premier League this season. It's Chelsea 4, Wolves 0, 55 minutes on the clock.
And at this point, I have to sing, tan, 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 but it's not the bride coming this summer around, it's the groom, because this guy has totally married this Wolves backline. It's a hat-trick. I was just speaking about it some moments earlier. I think it's a proud moment for him, and this is the much-needed tonic for Chelsea. If they can build on this, maybe they can go on some good run that will get them up the table and also get them into contention, and people might start talking about Chelsea being contenders for the season.
Well, that's a huge possibility. With what we're witnessing today. When you score 4 goals, it can only help your goal difference, and it gives you that confidence going into the next one. And that's what Chelsea have done today. Tammy Abraham, 3 goals.
I think it was he had a number of Conor Cody out there, held up the ball quite well, shimmied the defender, and when he hit the ball, hit it with so much conviction. You won't even believe it's Rui Patricio who's in goal. Sammy, my heart goes out to you, but Patricio is coming home with minus 15.
Oh Lord,
today.
Lord,
the way he's
Lord.
going.
You have Rui Patricio as a goalkeeper, then you can be crying, and we will provide a bucket.
I'm just speechless at this point in time. He's a fantastic goalkeeper anyway, but how he manages to score 4 against Tammy Abraham. But credit to me, I did have
Rui Patricio.
Yes, credit to me. For some reason, I have Tammy Abraham as my captain.
He's your captain.
He's my triple captain him this week, so you can imagine.
Triple
captain him. So that's why I said I'm speechless at this point in time. I don't know how I managed to pick that in triple captain.
Wait, let me ask you a question. How did you think that Tammy Abraham was going to score as many goals to use a chip that you are allowed to use for just a season?
I didn't change my team from last week. I just left it because I forgot. Had too much work in
Triple captain or just captain?
Triple captain him last week.
When did you decide to triple captain Tammy Abraham?
I was going to change it and change the team this weekend.
Forgot.
I forgot. So I just was working and I just realized triple captain him and I just left it. I wasn't really thinking.
How many points? Because when they triple captain,
doing the math in my head,
this guy's going close to 100, right?
When you score a goal, that's 4 points.
As a
he
striker,
scored 3. Now he has how many goals? 12. 12 plus the 2 minutes, 2 points for.
That's 14.
That's 14. Then bonus points. That's
plus another 3.
17.
He's definitely taking the 3 bonus points.
So that's 30. That's 34 plus 17.
I'm
Do
re-
the
I'm-
math. That's the
I'm-
amount of points you get on one player.
I'm really speechless right now.
Oh,
I
dear.
thought I was thinking, okay, Rui Patricio is really
And he's
doing
triple
me here.
captain.
He's
Triple
really
captain.
doing me here on this one. But then again, Tammy is making up for whatever error Rui Patricio is, giving me at this point in time. But brilliant. I don't know. I think I will just keep leaving that team the way it is and just
Well, just to put it into perspective, you will have 51 points on one
on
player.
one player already. Oh god.
Some people know they collect 40 points from 11 players.
My last week was 32 points. All of them.
Oh,
Well,
Lord.
I think you've used it wisely. No better
The
way
thing
to
is,
use your triple
I
captain.
just didn't think about it. I was working and I was looking at it. I was trying to
Massive.
set up the team, and I just went Tammy Abraham, go triple captain. What could I lose?
Trust me, no matter what, I can't use my triple captain on a game week.
Oh,
I've never tried it.
It's worked perfectly.
Yeah, but
Because sometimes you use it for double game
and it
week,
doesn't pop.
and it doesn't,
But you know what? My own philosophy is this: I want to give myself a second chance. I don't want a chance.
It's better for double game week.
Exactly. So many people did it last week for Raheem Sterling, match week.
don't
It
remind me.
didn't even to assist, not to
Don't
talk of
remind me.
scoring.
He was my captain. He gave me 6 points.
I was my captain as well, and he's still my captain for this week. Somehow I kept faith with Raheem Sterling, so I hope he repays me with goals. Yeah, I was caught between Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling because I brought in KDB. But I had to go for Sterling again, and I hope I smile.
No,
but
Sterling is
definitely
a goal
not triple
scorer.
captain. Yeah, he's a goal scorer. De Bruyne can score or assist, but when it comes to goals, your man is Sterling.
Sterling can score 3 or 4.
Yeah, he has the potential to do that, so I had to stick with him. So, Samuel is the man of the day. Triple captain Tammy Abraham. At the end of the game, he will get 51 points. That's if Tammy doesn't get a yellow card, because that's -1 for him. So if you also captain or triple captain Tammy, nice one. Nobody sees it coming. And Kelele, like I was trying to explain on the show last time out, there's actually no better time to use your triple captain. You stand a better chance in the double game week, but you do not know when to actually use it and get maximum return.
But the best 2 seasons ago, it
Sanchez,
was.
I remember Sanchez
No,
from
it
at
wasn't.
Arsenal,
No, it wasn't Sanchez. 2 seasons
and at
ago,
the point Aguero as well.
it was a funny week. I think there was FA Cup, and just Liverpool and a handful of other teams were playing because Wolves had already beaten Liverpool in the FA Cup. I triple captain Mohamed Salah, scored 4 goals and assisted 2 goals.
Wow.
Mohamed Salah gave
And
me
it was a single game week.
Yes, it was a single game week. Because one of the things I remember that made me triple captain Salah was when Don Hutchinson, was it Don Hutchinson or who said that it was a bad idea? It was a bad idea. It was this, it was that to triple captain him. I said I would try it and I'll see what will happen. And I did it. And I didn't look back since then. And I had Salah and Mane.
I told you guys the odd goal will come, and we can report a goal in the game between Brighton and Burnley. Brighton have a goal. It's 1-0 against Burnley, and Sheffield have also scored against Southampton.
So the odd goals have come in.
They've come. Just to quickly confirm the goal scorers in the 2 games for you. Well, there goes my clean sheet for Nick Pope, my goalkeeper.
I'm going to guess it's Florian Andoni for Brighton or Glenn Murray.
Andoni has gone to Turkey, if you remember.
Okay, he's gone.
He's gone out.
He's gone.
He's gone on loan, actually, until January.
He's gone on loan, I remember.
Let's just quickly confirm the goal scorers here. Sheffield United will
Oli
have
McBurney. Is that Oli McBurney?
Okay. We'll just check. In 2 shakes of a lamb still.
Tammy.
There are 2 shakes.
2 shakes of a lamb
Oh.
still. Okay. It's a yellow card. Tammy gets that yellow that I warned you about. So you won't get 51 points. That I can
Tammy,
assure
come
you.
on.
It's just 50 points is okay. Potato.
Potato, as the case may be. So Tammy Abraham gets a yellow. And that's the 4th yellow of today's game.
And let's still update them. Manchester United still the same way.
It's still 1-0. United against Leicester. 57 minutes. 60 minutes in some of the other match centers. So we'll just wait patiently to confirm all these. All right, so it's a free kick. And it's long tie. Header clear by jersey number 4, Christensen.
Chelsea have done quite well on the afternoon. Always getting to the ball. The defenders get to the ball first. Not giving the front line of this Wolves side any sniff of goal, because when they sniff the goal, then they'll smell blood. But nothing of such. So far this afternoon, they've been very, very they've been very disciplined at the back, and they haven't really missed Rudiger, because I think they've just continued from where they stopped in the first half.
Right, talking about where they stopped in the first half. Let's see if we can entertain some of your messages right there on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is what we like to call it. It's Chelsea actually confident going into the final minutes of this clash at the Molineux. Looking at the number of possession counts, still Chelsea who are actually with advantage as we speak.
And Bola, the funniest thing, after Emerson actually got that injury, one of the major notion on Twitter was they were scared to see Adama Traore against Marcos Alonso, but I think that duel hasn't happened this afternoon. We are still waiting for that duel to happen.
Alonso has his number. They kept him.
He
in
can't
his
even
pocket
attack.
So far.
The way they can't attack. They don't want to concede more.
And it's a second yellow card for the Chelsea team. This time it's Christensen who finds his name on the referee's book.
He looks like he can't hurt to fly.
Yeah, and I think he had to take down for the team. That one was definitely going to be a counter attack that could result in a goal from Diogo Jota. So one for the team, Christensen. Wolverhampton Wanderers still looking to get their noses back into it. It's not happened so far with Fikayo Tomori. Brilliant goal so far for Chelsea.
And
arguably the goal of the day so far.
I think the goal of the day. And I'm looking at going straight to North London. Tottenham now trying all styles, all techniques to get goals. And the impossible styles, they seem to be trying it. They just want to get them that fifth goal. But a good thing for Crystal Palace, they've been able to stem that surge, that goal scoring, surge in the first half, and they're looking to get one of their own as well, because I've noticed they've gone, on some attacking forays, a couple of attacking forays that hasn't yielded anything, but they've been quite positive in the second half.
65 minutes in the second half. Wolves 0, Chelsea 4. And somehow I'm glad that we are actually covering this game and not the
United game.
The United game that has only giving us one goal.
Frank Lampard,
I'm sure that game is boring. We can't see it now.
I don't think it's boring. Leicester an interesting team. And Manchester United also play interesting football. They play attacking football.
Do they now?
Yes, they play open football. They play
counter-attacking football.
And when you watch Manchester, it's quick-paced. It's quick-paced. It's not like Jose Mourinho time.
Chelsea with a chance. Mason Mount! Hey! Mason Mount just couldn't put it in after pitching the goalkeeper, Rui Patricio. It wasn't the narrowest of angle, but somehow he just couldn't get it on target, and he's out for a goal kick.
But I'll tell you what happened there. He lost his footing after beating the goalkeeper. He had done the most difficult job, but couldn't keep his foot. That's why he didn't hit target there. Seemed to have stumbled a bit and couldn't hit the goal, and the goal was gaping.
He should be scoring that.
Like William, if he had lifted his head up, he would have seen Tammy Abraham arriving in that box. Could have taken one or two touches.
He scored a hat-trick. They don't want to give him again.
There's no harm in scoring 4 goals. We see the likes of Aguero score 5 in the game, so it's disappointing to see him miss out on target. But he's a fantastic player.
And Tammy is definitely one player that could score more.
He looks like he's in the mood for goals. Really,
Mason Mount, you ask Lukaku how he does it.
Romelu. Now at Inter Milan.
Even while he's at Inter, he still gets more.
He does it.
Romelu will always score for Belgium and any other team, apart from Manchester United.
But he scores for Manchester United. Doesn't get them regularly.
Very disrespectful. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. No respect to Lukaku.
To one and only Bolingoli.
Our Lena manager. On the left, Marcos Alonso finds Kovacic, who in turn finds Willian on the left. William has all the time in the world to decide what he wants to do. Spreads it back to Jorginho, who decides to strike, hesitates, and forced back by the Wolves defense.
And the name of the goalkeeper has been ringing in my head all day. I've gotten it now, Gaeta.
That's the Crystal Palace
goalkeeper. Yes, he's also had a long afternoon.
Was actually
considered 4.
Considered 4 quick. Was in the team of the week last time out. But today, definitely not going to be in the team of the week. Considered 4 already. It's approaching the 68-minute mark at the Molineux. Still Chelsea 4. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. To the other centres, we do not have an update because the score stayed the same. At Old Trafford, it's still United 1, Leicester 0.
Please, what did Juve do finally?
trying to track as well.
Okay.
There's no good score in 30 minutes.
So you don't verse. But people want to know. I beg,
Don't
no
like
verse.
them anymore.
And Bola, out there at the Tottenham Hotspur Crystal Palace game, it's all honky-dory, like they say it out there for the home team, the Lily Whites Tottenham Hotspur. They lead 4-0, and one man has been brought on for Harry Winks. That's the club record signing, Ndombele. You know, he was injured ever since the game against Aston Villa. Against Manchester City. He's come back into the side, and there's so much appreciation from the fans there to see Tanga and Ndombele back in the side. So
It's made quite a quick impact.
Huge impact for them.
Coming into the team, and he looks like an exciting player.
He's already looking. He's on the ball.
Ndombele.
Almost really setting up an assist there for Tottenham Hotspur. Straight into the action and looking really, really good. Tanga and Ndombele. So much talent, so much quality. I think it was signed from Lyon out there in France. Come to the Premier League and really, really hit the ground running. Cracking goal in that first game against Aston Villa. I remember seeing that game, and it was such a huge delight to see such a player. So much quality from this guy. It's only, nice to see him play in this league called the Premier League.
69 minutes, still Wolves will trail by 4-0. Corner kick taken here by Yamotinho. Long headed!
Finally.
And it's finally in the back of the net.
They must do go.
The fight back is on. Roman Size has pulled one back for Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's now Wolves 1, Chelsea 4.
He scored in your last game. Looks like I'm going to buy that Roman Size guy.
Roman Size, what a player. Yeah, against Everton. It was on target. And just from the corner kick, left unmarked. The Chelsea players somehow took their eyes off the ball, and Roman Size was there to head it in, and there was little that Arita Balaga could do.
And but anyway, looking at Tammy Abraham, everything he touches now turns into gold, because he had a touch on the ball right there on the line.
And Kepa was looking at him like maybe he
Yes.
may have caused that goal, because he looked like he punched it onto his arm and into
And
the
if that
net.
ball hadn't gone in, we know what it would have meant for Chelsea, a penalty, because it was clear handball.
Well, another substitution, more like double substitution. Barkley has come on to replace Mateo Kovacic.
I think Morgan Gibbs White, yes,
has
that's
come on
coming
to
for
replace
Raul
Jimenez. So, looks like Wolverhampton Wanderers will not stop. They want to continue to pile up the pressure and try to get more goals and salvage something in this one. Well, Chelsea are bringing on Barkley to replace the tiring Kovacic. Quite understandable. 70 minutes, Wolves 1, Chelsea 4. Quickly to Old Trafford. And it's still where we left off, with Manchester United still leading by 1-0. Marcus Rashford.
Wan-Bissaka clean sheet.
Wan-Bissaka.
Madison scored now, big.
Wan-Bissaka clean
Well, just
sheet.
to double check, that game between Sheffield and Southampton who have actually scored, not Sheffield.
Okay.
We'll just look at that again, just to be on the right side, not the wrong one, because the scores are very important. There are tickets at stake. So we don't want to make you sad.
Don't to mislead people.
We don't want to mislead you as well.
But Chelsea have to now work on the fact that they are not a second half side. Save for that one goal they scored.
It's now obvious. It's
Yes.
now a problem.
Yes, save for that one goal they scored. Imagine if Wolves had scored 2 or 3 goals in the second half. Chelsea be frantic at this point, and they've had opportunities to actually extend the lead more than the one goal they got from Tammy Abraham. Quick good solo goal. I think they need to work more on their second half efforts. That used to be a problem with Liverpool some seasons back, but Liverpool seems to have tightened that as well and have made them even a stronger team.
Chelsea on course for their second win of the season. They haven't beaten Norwich in the second match of the season. Well, it's Wolverhampton Wanderers who can get a second. It's not a penalty. The referee says no. But the VAR will definitely check. But when you look at what the VAR has done so far this season, most times they don't just want to overturn whatever call the referee made initially.
Clear and obvious error. That's the English they use to cover it.
So if it's not clear and obvious, they don't want to interfere. So,
and I think Marcos Alonso did quite well there.
Very well.
Just stood his ground. But anyway, it was shoulder to shoulder. It was hip to hip. Call it anything you want, but he stood his ground. Wasn't grappling the player. He was just playing for the penalty. But the referee was never going to give that.
Maybe he should have gotten the yellow card. Doherty, the man in question.
Well,
Not
does
much.
have a case.
But not much in that.
Like again, you said clear and obvious error. It wasn't quite obvious that it was really grabbing onto the player.
And maybe it would have been unfair to also give him a yellow for diving. So play goes on. Tomori sends the ball way back to his goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga. Wellingtons find Kozuma, the French international. But Chelsea are looking to keep it safe. If the chance comes, they want to score another. But most importantly, they have to keep it tight at the back. Yet conceding in this match. And of course, yet to keep a clean sheet so far this season, the Chelsea side.
They are a very good team when you're looking for both teams to score.
And,
Chelsea, Manchester United, both teams to score. They are like the best teams. And even us now.
Yeah, these are the teams for GG.
United are doing the job today. They're yet to concede. Still lead out.
And for some funny reason, I think they might keep that clean sheet. Because I actually saw them winning that game. I saw them winning the game. I was adamant about it.
Okay, that's football. Even without Pogba and Martial, somehow they're getting the job done. I wouldn't put my money on United winning when there's no Pogba and Martial at the same time.
Pogba will give the game away to the opponents if he plays.
Sadly, he's United's best player.
Well, we can't argue that.
That's why I say sadly. And Wolves can launch another attack. Gibbs White, fresh blood. Definitely fresher than most of the players on the pitch. Johnny on the left.
I mean, maybe not fresher than Ross Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley also coming on as a substitute for Chelsea. Long ball spread forward. Marcos Alonso struggling. And it's going to be a chance for Crotone, who just couldn't get the ball down, and it's cleared by Chelsea. Mason Mount beautifully controls. Finds Barkley. Barkley to Alonso. Chelsea passing it around beautifully. Ruben Neves dispossesses Barkley. Moves forward. Has options on the right. And he uses that option. Diogo Jota. Doherty. Moutinho. Wolves looking to spread the ball around and looking for that space. Still hasn't come. Doherty on the right. And it's going to be a Wolverhampton Wanderers corner kick.
And you can see some of the intention of the coach in this game seems to be working well now. Since Adama Traore left, aka Adama, since he left the pitch, they've had more presence in the wider areas that he was supposed to be occupying. And I've seen them get a few corners from that end of the field. Don't forget their goal came via a corner as well from that part of the pitch.
There's 7 corner kicks for Wolves, 3 for Chelsea. Moutinho with another. Header clear. And it's Ruben Neves. Never goes into the 18-yard area. When you look at the stats, this man's touches in the 18-yard area is not up to 10.
Almost non-existent.
I think he has a standing rule to never go into the 18-yard area. In fact, part of the times that he's gone into the 18-yard area was to go play a penalty for Wolves, even before they gained promotion into the Premier League. Ruben Neves, the Portugal international.
He's a visible man.
And he scored a couple outside the box. Good goals. The latest has to be that beautiful strike against Manchester United this season.
I think the only other player, which, well, it might be unfair to actually, weigh them both together because Christian Eriksen has been in the Premier League longer. I think the only player who has outscored him now from outside the area in the totality of it is that man, Christian Eriksen. But this season so far, that's the man I have my eye on. And probably next game week, I'm going to buy him. Harry Wilson for Bournemouth also scores a lot of goals from outside the area.
Another substitution imminent for Chelsea, and this time it's Michy Batshuayi who comes on for the hat-trick hero of Chelsea, Tammy Abraham.
But why this boy no dey fear? Look at the 2 men that he's benching.
Benches Giroud and
World Cup winner
Batshuayi. Giroud.
It's looking like that substitution was forced for Chelsea. Tammy Abraham
yes, they want
looked
to
like
preserve him.
Looked
Champions
like he's struggling for something after maybe not landing well after going up for a challenge. But you wonder why Giroud is not coming in now ahead of Michy Batshuayi.
He's a weapon for Champions League. Calm down.
Champions League
weapon. He's a weapon for Champions League.
And of course, rotation policy.
That's exactly my point. It's about how you deploy all of. I don't remember the last time Giroud played for Chelsea this season.
Well, he said there were rumors that he was frustrated from not getting enough game time in the Premier League, but he's still there. He still stayed put because he won the Europa League. One thing I'll tell you is I'm going to predict something during midweek. I think Frank Lampard might play a 4-4-2, and I think Giroud might be playing alongside Batshuayi or Tammy Abraham, or someone of them will be playing behind one.
The other.
Yes.
All right, quickly, let's give you the updates. After 78 minutes in all the centers, now we can confirm the live score. Tottenham 4, Crystal Palace 0, Man United 1, Leicester 0, Sheffield United 0, Southampton 1. Ginepo with the only goal so far for Southampton. Yeah, had a beautiful debut goal at Brighton this season. Brighton lead Burnley, like we said earlier, by 1-0, and it's Maupay with the only goal so far. And a feature match is still Chelsea 4, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. So approaching the final quarter of the 45 minutes in the second half. Teams that are on course for the maximum points.
All the big teams that we predicted.
Yes,
That's
all getting the job done.
Course.
On course. Or can they hang on? Doesn't look like they are going to surrender this lead, especially Tottenham and Chelsea.
Yes, and while in North London, I think it's a very curious day for Crystal Palace. It's rare for Wilfred Zaha to be on the pitch and for Crystal Palace to actually lose a game. And it's happening today, and it's happening rather woefully. And it's been a woeful performance by the entire Eagles team. They don't seem to be playing quite well, and it's been very frustrating for Zaha. I've seen him give a free kick away now inside the Tottenham area of the pitch, and he's dropped his shoulder. It's been, how should I put it? I wouldn't say totally disappointing. I'm sure they can take a few positives, but on the whole, this is not the result they wanted coming into this game.
Definitely not. The Crystal Palace side. Well, it's 80 minutes at the Molineux. Mason Mount has a corner kick to deliver for the Chelsea
They
side.
have a chance now.
Oh, it's not a corner kick, actually, it's a free kick.
Ben.
Takes it high. Almost a goal this time. Kotzuma got the right header, but just couldn't keep it down. And it agonizingly goes wide. It's a corner goal kick. It turns out to be for Wolves.
But I remember Benteke was one of my players. I would have used him to sow a seed in smaller club in Europe, because I don't know.
It's frustrating.
I don't know what he's still
it's
doing.
Really
I don't know
frustrating
the
to
job
see
he does
Benteke
for
play.
Crystal Palace.
I don't know, but they like him so much.
I don't know why they like him so much. Christian Benteke.
There was a quick by the way, why did I say that? There was a quick attack in the game in North London. It was 3-on-3, 3v3. At some point, the third defender was even scrambling back, so it was basically 3v2. That's in favor of Crystal Palace. But Christian Benteke, even with two wide men, chose to go it on his own, and the ball was deflected and just smothered into the hand of the goalkeeper Hugo Lloris for this Tottenham team. So far, it's still the 4-0 from the first half. No goals yet. Maybe Crystal Palace might get a consolation goal. That's what a lot of neutrals would want at this point.
Well, team news for you in the later game that we have coming up. No Kevin De Bruyne in the starting 11.
It was a good risk. It was a good risk to take.
No Kevin De Bruyne. Of course, they have a Champions League game midweek. No Kevin De Bruyne. But Raheem Sterling starts along with Sergio Aguero, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Rodrigo, Gundogan, Zinchenko, Otamendi, Stones, and Kyle Walker. And the number one goalkeeper keeps his place, Ederson Moraes. For the Norwich City side, they start with their top scorer, Temu Pukki. And they've got Tim Krul in goal, along with Brian, Amadou, Godfrey, Lewis, McLean, Tete, Buendia, Stipperman, and Cantwell.
I also have Cantwell in my team, so.
Cantwell can or can't.
And he's the first man on my bench, so he's going to come in and replace De Bruyne if he doesn't play.
Well, I have Kevin De Bruyne. I brought him in for this match week. Collect -4, join.
No, he's a good because it might just increase. He keeps increasing. So
in the long run, he will come good, definitely.
Yes, he's a good gamble.
So, my captain starts. And we're just waiting patiently for the points to start pouring in. Raheem Sterling. So happy that I didn't captain Kevin De Bruyne though. But Chelsea can get a 5th. It's a chance, and it goes begging. A beautiful opportunity for Chelsea to go forward there. Just couldn't get the right cross in from the right side, and that will be Mason Mount again.
It was Cesar Azpilicueta who put the ball through. but he missed everybody. Even the goalkeeper in goal for Wolves, Rui Patricio, missed everybody. That's that will go down as a chance missed for Chelsea.
Chance missed again for Chelsea, but they have a corner kick to take. It's taken high, long. It's cleared again by the Wolverhampton Wanderers defenders. And Chelsea continues to stay strong. Let's quickly cross to the world of social media. This time it's WhatsApp. So many messages. Don't even know where to start from. Well, I'll start from somewhere. Oh dear. Well, I'll start from somewhere cozy. Okay, let's start from the earlier ones. I'm afraid I'll have to scrutinize and take random messages. Good afternoon, guys. I'm watching and also listening to you. Elijah from Okota, thank you for tuning in. So I saw Tammy Abraham and brought in Ashley Barnes. I'm in severe pains. We feel your pain. Femi Taiwo from Badagry, Chelsea all the way. Good one for Tammy Abraham. He's now the highest goal scorer in the EPL. Well, that's right. 7 goals, which is very commendable. Anselm says, congratulations to my Chelsea team, but they shouldn't lose their head in the second half. Well, second half is done and dusted. Hi guys, Starby, Kelele, Samuel, well done guys, keep it up. As a Manchester City fan, I wish Manchester City good luck. 5-1 prediction. Olamide from Aja, and he says, oh shit. Good afternoon, Femi and the gang. I asked if the game ends 0-0, you give them odd option, the game enter or not. 0 is an odd number, so odd simply means you've won. Is it?
It's 0. I think 0 is an even number.
Is 0 even?
It's even number, yes.
You don't say where we go school.
1 is odd. 2 is even. 3. That's how I know.
Oh, okay.
I count from 0. You know, you usually count from 0. 0 is even. 1 is odd. 2 is even. 3 is odd.
So it goes like
so
that.
if you say odd as the outcome and it ends goalless, then you haven't won.
Then there's a mathematical explanation to this. I think 0 is the only number that can divide itself, Abi.
Yeah.
No, 0 divided by
that's
0,
why
so.
that's one of the reasons why it's an even number.
Okay. Kelele has taken us back to secondary school.
I hope I'm right. If I'm not right, I'm waiting for somebody because me, I know to know maths when I go to school.
Your maths teacher must be listening.
But I know how to write a lot, so I made up for something.
Okay. All right. I can confirm to you that it's an even number, 0. So you're correct. Okay.
I think there's an incident in the Chelsea game. I think Vieira is trying to check something.
So simply means that if you play odd number and it ends goalless, it don't cast to be that. Just to explain it clearly for you. Thank you for taking us back.
Bimbo, we have an did I say Bimbo?
You missed him.
Yes, I missed him. We have an incident, and I think VAR seems to be checking something. Check is over. Okay, it looked like a penalty. Decision was supposed to come the way of Wolverhampton Wanderers, but then check is over. No penalty.
So no penalty.
And Harry Kane just left the field. They scored 4 goals. He didn't score 1.
I sell him next week. No time. Can't be wasting
money.
my time. When Aguero will pop later and I have Kane doing rubbish. Nobody has that time. Bolariwa and Co, you're doing a great job. Good one for Chelsea and Tammy. I hope he can keep the form. If he does, then there might not be a need for Giroud. Felix from Ajegunle. Good afternoon, Femi and the gang. I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm very happy, my darling Chelsea. And please, Bolariwa, I just registered at Betway now and I play some code you call. It's not showing me my bets account. Please direct me on how to check it. Thank you, Nigerian Info. Just click Bet Slips. A box will pop up. That's where you input the code that we read out. Bet Slips. It's at the right side of your page. So you get to put it in box and you see all the games. Then you put whatever you can afford to lose. That's what I advise when it comes to betting. Do not put your lifetime earnings or savings on it. The money where you feed your bone.
Except you're sure you're going to get 50 million.
Except 50 million if you come out. But now play money that they use the play betting. Because you go cry if you cast. But Bola, I greet you and everyone in the studio. Good one for Chelsea. And he asked about the Juventus game. And that takes us straight to the Serie A. Let's quickly confirm what's going down in that center with Juventus playing as we speak. So to Italy we go. So that game is still goalless. I can confirm to you. It's actually finished full time Fiorentina nil, Juventus nil. OT cast. Hello, my people.
Some people play draw.
Really?
Some people play draw. You'll be surprised.
All right.
People play awkward things.
People actually do. I'm not even going to argue that. Well, to Germany as well, we have so many games that have now been completed, and I'll quickly give you the full-time scores. Dortmund destroyed Bayer Leverkusen 4-0. Mainz defeated Hertha Berlin 2-1. FC Cologne lost at home to Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-0. Union Berlin lost at home to Werder Bremen by 2-1, and Augsburg defeated Frankfurt by 2-1. Still to come at 5:30 p.m. It's RB Leipzig up against Bayern Munich. Well, let's take more messages on WhatsApp. Good play today by Chelsea. I hope they don't falter. Ifeanyi from Alaba. Jeremiah says, I love your work. Tammy hat-trick. I'm so glad Tammy has given me 2 goals for my FPL. Make it 3. What else triple captain Sterling today? My vice is Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin doesn't start. It's unbelievable that Chelsea is winning. Wolves on their backyard. Woha Ikechukwu says, unbelievable result. I agree totally. Up Chelsea, I'm proud of Tammy Abraham. Well done, Bola and the crew. It feels like I'm watching live. Chooks Uzolue from Ikeja. Well, I'm really happy today because my team is winning. Chelsea. Couldn't watch any of the match so far due to their inconsistency. At least we have minus goal difference. Good job, guys.
Okay, you were scared.
Very scared. Hi, guys. Kelele, you are welcome.
Thank you.
And he says, where's Kelechi Nkoro? Well done, guys. Kelechi Nkoro is fine. Funny enough, I saw him on, was it Thursday on Friday? He wanted to scare the hell out of my life. I was using the ATM and he was behind me and he just stopped me. I'm like, Alpha, when I won't try me for this daylight. You know, things happen in Lagos. I was actually scared, like, wait till happen from my, you know, it was Kele. I was actually happy to see that it was him, not somebody else. Game on, guys. It's nice listening to you people. Really enjoying the commentary from the real source. But it's painful. Tammy is stuttering Wolves. I don't believe I trust them beating Wolves. I even replaced Tammy with Burnley's Wood from my FPL, and he puts the heartbroken sign and cries. I know that feeling. Good evening, guys. I'm very happy for Chelsea today. Good one for Tammy today. My name is Nendo Marcus from Bauchi. I'll take 3 more messages for now on WhatsApp. Then we return before the end of this belt. Hope Chelsea will really make this one count because I can't really relax my mind until after 90 minutes. Solo King from Lekki. A job well done, guys. Good one for Chelsea. I hope they keep the momentum going. Josiane. And finally, oh my God, why is it difficult for Chelsea to keep a clean sheet? My brother.
It doesn't matter if they win 4-1.
I don't understand. They always concede. Go candidates. Always do go. That's the way we call it. All right, approaching 90 minutes.
Yeah, and very important news. I think we must apologize to the fans. Something we failed to mention. It's actually 4-2 out there. The Wolves between Chelsea and the VAR incident. Kelele was trying to explain. It was, I think, for a red card incident, but it was a goal that was scored, and Chelsea were trying to contest that, but he stood, and so it's Chelsea 4, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, and guess who scored? The man who came off the bench, Crotone.
Crotone
for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah,
so 4-2.
Next week. You'll be playing for Imba. Imba Fantasy.
Oh dear. Alrighty. Awesome stuff. When you look at what's happening in the different centers across Europe. Chai! Now, wow. Oh dear. Can't even track my games. If you know, you know. Chai!
If you know, you know, Abi.
The fear of seeing that red as he go line up. We'll just be like, what have we done today? We log in tonight and we see greens. We prayed. We do video.
Talk about video.
We do video for green.
You has done their own. No?
The prayers have been answered.
I said you played S2. You didn't play X2.
Who they play X2? Nobody
for you,
that
because the point will be too small.
Like GG and over 2.5. I hope you guys are cashing out as well at betway.com.ng. Even though critical. Oh dear. It's going to be exciting going forward. Well, we're approaching the final minutes in the centers across Europe. Manchester United, strangely, on course to get another 3 points. Ole at the wheel.
And Bolaniwa, another man who is always a candidate to get a yellow card. And if they bring out that option, I think I'll pick it one of these days. Milivojevic.
Customer.
He's a customer.
Yellow card was invented for him.
It's like this man that plays for Sunderland, their captain, Lee Katamo. Candidate.
Katamo, candidates for yellow cards.
But the day I played him to collect yellow card, Baba played the cleanest game that he has played in his career.
All right, just lapping up all the excitement. Keep the messages coming in on Twitter, on WhatsApp, and we will definitely accommodate your phone calls at the end of the matches. Remember that it doesn't stop here. At 5:30 p.m., Chuma will be here to take you through the game between Norwich and Manchester City.
And I think we can just about say Chelsea fans can, just lay back and relax. Eat something nice, drink something nice.
It's almost done.
It's done. Bolaniwa, the worst that can happen, you probably get a 4-3 scoreline. This is done and dusted already. Chelsea should just have this win now, and it's a good one for them. It's to keep lifting them, just keep pushing, propping them up the table and moving them to where themselves and their fans want to see their team.
Chelsea look good for the maximum points. Frank Lampard is a happy manager. What a legend he was during his active playing days for Chelsea.
Chelsea's all-time top scorer.
Yep. Imagine, he's a midfielder, not a striker, and he's done so much thus far. People hardly remember that he once played at West Ham United.
Once played for City.
Even played for City after Chelsea. Yeah, that's true. Even went to the US.
And if we're not mistaken, the only player to score against every team in the EPL.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're definitely
as at the season he retired.
He scored against the 20 teams.
Yes.
The other 19 teams.
Yes. We're not talking about Sheffield United, though. No, he didn't score against this one. He didn't play them.
When you score so many goals and you become the all-time top scorer of a club, then you must have scored against so many teams.
Against so many teams, yes.
Good evening, guys. Isn't it K2 Kelele I'm hearing on the background?
I'm the one.
It's the one. Check microphone. It's Kelele in the building. And he says, what exactly is wrong with this United team? It's very annoying watching their games these days.
What did they do? They are winning now.
That game, rubbish game.
Haven't they won?
You want to see exciting football?
And lose 2-1. And you still complain.
I think some fans will take that. Let's see. Let's hope for something.
But I know you won't take it. I know you.
But Chelsea didn't win against Sheffield United, but they actually played well, especially in the first half. People were happy.
But the painful part, it was that own goal and the person that scored it.
Exactly. That can actually pain. And we went on to say Juventus for my hand. Anyway, congratulations to the likes of Chelsea. Didn't see that scoreline coming. At least both teams to score don't enter.
But my goal don't enter again. Chelsea don't score 5-2.
Chelsea.
They don't need clean sheet. If they can be winning 5-2, and it looks like it's Mason Mount.
I'll be happy if it's Mason.
I think it's Mason.
It's Mason Mount who's gotten that goal.
It's Mason Mount. Mason Mount just scored a goal for Chelsea. Make it goal number 2 in his Chelsea career.
And it's full time in North London. Tottenham have won that game 4-0. All 4 goals scored in the first half of the game.
Wow. No Kane.
No gain.
Oh,
no Kane, no gain, fam.
Beauty.
Uwana Yose from Ikeja, I see you. Thank you for that message. The one I railed out last. Michael from Ikorodu. I 3-out son for KDB. KDB doesn't start. Son gets 2 goals. Michael from Ikorodu. The pain of fantasy football, my brother. It's really amazing to see how Tammy Abraham bounced back. Missed penalty in the UEFA Super Cup final. Got racially abused. Fans turned their back on him, and now he scored a hat-trick. And is the best goal scorer in the league. Elite mentality from a young lad. Is a gunner.
And there was something Sammy said earlier
Taiwo
on.
from Jack on the Estate. Thank you for that.
There was something Sammy said earlier on. The third goal, or was it the second goal, was actually attributed to Van Aanholt. Yes, is attributed as an own goal.
Okay, it's an own goal. Patrick Van Aanholt gets his name on the score sheet for the wrong team. Well, we can confirm to you now it's full time at the Molineux. It's Chelsea who have destroyed the Wolverhampton Wanderers by 5-2. Tammy Abraham scored 3 times. Fikayo Tomori scored once. And the highly rated Mason Mount got another for the Chelsea side. Cutrone And of course, that man, Roman Size, got the goals for Wolverhampton Wanderers. So it's been a good day of football, and we'll quickly go to the other centres and confirm the full-time score. But before then, Kelele, exciting matches, no upsets, just what we all expected.
Basic. It was a basic afternoon. Well, until we get the feelers from the other centres. For Manchester United, I think it's been won already. Chelsea have won, and a lot of Chelsea fans, even the player, the fans that did not believe in the fact that Marcos Alonso could actually come into that team and better that team. Well, they will be amazed at how well they've done this afternoon. And also, you look at Tottenham, clinical performance, clean sheet, 4 goals, and it was even a derby. Doesn't seem like it was a derby. Good one for all of those teams until I think the only team that might feel a bit shaking a bit because they're usually very tidy is the Sheffield United team. Well, let's hope Southampton hasn't won that game. But also, we also have one eye on the Brighton game. We're going to check and before we leave the studio, we'll get confirmation on all of those other results.
Well, one I can confirm to you is that Brighton and Burnley have played a 1-1 draw.
Draw soup.
That one
As
was
expected.
It was a 90th minute equalizer by Jeff Hendrick.
See the way they score.
Burnley.
What a game that turned out to be. Samuel, Chelsea, and I'm sure you're the happiest when it comes to fantasy football with your triple captain chip on Tammy Abraham, who scored 3 times.
Yeah, indeed. I'm very, very delighted.
At least you're assured of a minimum of 110 points.
So I'm just trying to, look at that now
Possible.
because I still have Man City. I think I have 2 Man City players to play, so more points to expect to come. But very, very good weekend for me in the fantasy world. Again, I think I'm just gonna do what I did this weekend. Just
leave it on Tammy.
Leave it on Tammy, and he takes care of everything. But for the games we've seen, exciting games of football. Really, Chelsea doing the unexpected. Kelele said he saw this coming. Well, I didn't, and I'm sure there's a huge number of fans out there who didn't think Chelsea can do this, going all the way to the Molineux. And even if they were going to win, not thrash Wolves. 5 goals to 2 is really something no one would have expected. But comfortable for Frank Lampard, comfortable for Chelsea, and very, very huge for one man. The hat-trick hero, and that's Tammy Abraham, does a lot of good for the young man going into the season or for the rest of the season. You can see him coming into games and thinking, yes, I'm the man, I'm the star man now, and I can do almost anything. And again, I spoke about this earlier. It's about the way Tammy plays. It's been a long time I've seen a Chelsea striker, move ever so well. It reminds me of the likes of Aguero, in terms of that box. They're always expecting where the ball is going to drop to and always, putting themselves in that position to finish. So great for him and for Chelsea. For United, I think it's finished out there. So great credit to United. Again, not the result I expected. Leicester City, again, failing to win at Old Trafford. I think it's been 20 years now they haven't done that. So very, very good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. So great games of football we saw today. And the big one, or maybe not so much a big one, Manchester City up against Timo Pukki, the player of the month for August. So interesting game to look forward to. Hopefully we get more goals like we have seen in this round of games.
Again, it's Brighton 1, Burnley 1, Tottenham 4, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0, Sheffield lost at home to Southampton by 1-0, and Chelsea defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers by 5-2. These are results because it's official and it's completed, ended in all the centres of the Premier League at 3 o'clock.
And you're safe because I remember you started playing the Chelsea anthem quite early, so you're safe, and they made you proud. They even did a bit of top up for you, in the second half. Good display by Chelsea, but I think whatever happens should be the result of the weekend.
Definitely.